let's talk about this. Right?
Yeah.
WarGames.
Yeah.
It might
Boy,
be,
did that hurt.
it might be time to maybe put that on the shelf for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this WarGames match, you lost 3 top talents.
In your biggest story.
So now Tonka torn tricep is out.
Yeah.
Jimmy Uso broke broken toe. Now that should be a fairly quick recovery.
Bronson Reed almost ran off.
His ankle almost snaps off his body, which is awful for Bronson Reed because the last few months they've been building him up to be a monster and being very successful. Now he's going to miss 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I've never had my
maybe
ankle
more
like
because
that.
when you're carrying that much weight, he's a big man. You got to really make sure.
Yeah, your physical therapy has to be just incredible. But obviously, they'll take care of him. But it sucks because he was on such a rise, such a high rise. Technically, like if we're being real, didn't even really fit in that match. As far as story wise, it was everyone was like, this should just be 4-on-4. This should just be 4-on-4. And then Bronson gets added, and of course Phil gets added. It's unfortunate what happened to Bronson Reed, but dude, everybody's waiting for his return. It's obviously going to be in a great position as well when he comes back. Hopefully.
And also, like, I love the visual, but maybe no more 380-pound men on 20-foot cages draw. I mean,
you know who I blame for that?
Edge?
No. I blame Rikishi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
True. Because Rikishi set the standard.
Right.
When I was a kid
Rikishi
and I saw
did that
Rikishi
trust
fall
fall
off that cell into the truck.
That was a trust fall.
Boy.
Because if you don't know, it was a Hell in a Cell match. Was it against Taker?
Bro, it was a
because I know Taker, I didn't know whether it was a one-on-one or something.
No, bro. This match had The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Taker, Rikishi.
That's right.
That's nasty. That is a murderer's row of a match right there. That's crazy. And Rikishi, he had the big spot of the night.
Yeah, there was a truck filled with hay that was backed up to the cage side.
Yeah.
So Rikishi had to, on top of this cage, had
backwards.
to place himself perfectly. Undertaker gives him the choke slam, but more of just a push.
Choke push.
And Rikishi, if you ever seen somebody do a trust fall, it's usually with someone 2 feet behind them grabbing them, except this man dropped about 18 feet onto a flatbed of a truck.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trust right there, dog.
Boy, my bonus better be through the roof.
And I remember reading the story. I think his wife was not too happy with him doing that, which I can understand.
That would have been it. Bro, you spin, if you're not flat when you land, if he's spun, just like with Mankind, or Mick Foley said if he would have got more lift on that choke slam through the cell, he said my rotation, bro, I would have landed on my neck.
He would have been dead.
Yeah, shout out to Rikishi, but big fellas, jumping out the sky. Gravity not your friend, dog.
No, MIA tried to tell you that. Gravity's my enemy.
Dog. Come on. Shout out to Bronson Reed.
So my point being in that, man, I just don't know if it's worth it when you look at the injuries and now how that's going to affect storylines going through. I'm not sure if that was really worth it.
Yeah, and a lot of people get on WWE because they have these slow, methodical storytelling matches, and they're not doing
flips and things.
Yeah. I didn't want to say they're gonna get on my ass, but they're not necessarily doing their entire moveset every match. And so, people try to get on him about that, but your best ability is availability.
Absolutely.
You're not going to see Randy, and I know he just got back a year ago, but you're not going to see Randy Orton do a lot of even slams, too much. He has his method of doing things, and you're compelled the entire time. So they just got to switch the formula a little bit of what spots are worth it and what spots we can kind of cheat a little bit. Yeah.
Also, now the women's match, a lot of people online had a lot of feelings about that. Again, when you have your 2 women's world champions on one team, you would assume that would be an automatic win. So for the heel team to lose that with both champions, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that match was a little rough. It was.
It definitely had its rough spots, but then when you got they had plenty of WarGames veterans in there too.
First of all,
EO.
shout out to the EO because you know how we
with
feel
the
about
liquor color trash can because we are garbage so far.
And I think that was last year or 2 years ago when they finally put the rope on the trash can so she could carry it. But the EO diving, backflip off the top of the cage is, a standard issue. At this point.
It's Jeff Hardy off the ladder. Like, it has to happen.
So it's happened. I think she's been in 6 matches.
Yeah,
so I think it's happened 5 or but every time my whole thought process is you better catch EO.
Don't you
drop EO. You better not drop EO. And of course you had Tiffany doing the moonsault simultaneously on the other side. When's she going to cash in this briefcase, dog?
I know.
Because what better time,
bro?
You got 2 champions.
How
laying there.
insane would that have been?
What am I? For a split second, what I thought was going to happen.
Break it down, TJ.
She cashes it in. She drags Liv over. She pins them both and gets both titles.
Oh my!
I was like, that was going through my mind. I was like, can she do that? You think she could drag one?
And I would have even second guessed it. I would have been like, "This is genius."
You just pinned both champions.
This
is
genius. Now we got. I think women's undisputed.
I think that might have been a lost opportunity,
They would have. The internet would have burnt down.
We have a segment that, like I said, we haven't really labeled it yet, but I'd like to call it Creative Liberties, where we will give our take on storylines. So our creative liberty wise, that's what I think could have happened.
That would have been nasty.
Think about that.
I mean, twice the Tiffy is great.
Yeah.
You got to see her on both
shows. And by the way, Tiffy's a heel, but the fans kind of don't want to boo Tiffy. She gets loud pops every time she's out there.
Number one, she's a monster. All right. She does her character so well, and she's got the athleticism. You believe her. When you see her, you believe her.
And for a great group of a large number of the fan base, that the blonde hair, that's they're going to cheer that
standard issue.
Yeah, they're going to cheer that regardless.
But then when you are in a situation where you see whether she's a heel or not, you see somebody being taken advantage of.
The way Nia has been.
Yeah. The crowd is ready, like, stand up for yourself.
Yeah, and and regardless, heel or not, no matter who cashes in, anytime that briefcase gets exchanged for this gold belt, people are going to pop anyway.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to shock the world.
So just imagine if that could have.
That would have been, oh my.
Because what's she waiting for at this point?
What you waiting for? Mania? What you waiting for? Oh my God, that's a fair point, TJ. That would have been crazy.
It's just it was just something that popped into my head.
Yeah, that's why you're on the No Contest Wrestling podcast. Watch new episodes of No Contest Wrestling every Wednesday, or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us at No Contest Wrestling Podcast on Instagram.